Alright guys, I'm back with you with another video. And so this video is called, Why Am I a Christian? So, a year and a half ago in Okinawa, my friend asked me this question. He was like, hey Neo, why are you a Christian? And so at that time, I was telling him like, oh, there's a bunch of different reasons I'm a Christian and whatnot. And I didn't know what answer to give him, right? And so whatever answer it was, it really wasn't, I don't think, the right answer. So the answer I did figure out, which is so simple. I knew it my whole life, but I never really verbalized it. I was talking to I was talking on the phone to my dad, and it really just came out. And the reason I'm a Christian is because I'm a sinner. And so that's very obviously. I believe that's the reason anybody's a Christian. And so from that conversation, that's pretty much what I told my dad. And I was like, wow, thought about it afterwards. And like, yeah, that's the reason I'm a Christian. So some verses I'm gonna read off to you, because they kind of resonate with me a little bit and connect to the story. And so in Romans 3:20, it says, therefore, no one will be declared righteous in God's sight by works of the law. Rather, through the law, we become conscious of our sin. And so this is just like, I already knew, man. At age of 12, I was sinning, man. I was just like, dang, bro. Like, I knew all of this stuff was leading me away from God and into hell. You know, everything I was doing that was bad and evil, like, I was consciously aware of these evil things I was doing, you know? And so in Romans 3:23, it says, for all have sinned and fallen short of the glory of God. I've also recognized that. I've recognized other people aren't perfect. I've recognized that nobody's perfect. This world isn't perfect, you know, not the way that God intentionally designed it. You know, there's a lot of things that the Lord has not intentionally designed, but since mankind likes to sin, we tend to see a lot of its effects, right? And so now that I know that I've sinned, others sinned, now I'm like, all right, God, how do I get out of this? You know, what's the key, man? And so in Romans 6:23, Romans 6:23, it says, for the wages of sin is death, but the free gift of God is eternal life through Jesus Christ. And so in that verse right there, it teaches you what you've earned, you know, what your dividends are, or dividends, whatever you want to call them, and how to get out of it, right? How to pay your debt, right? And so, or how your debt's paid. It says through Jesus Christ. And so this is Paul speaking, but to more explicit clarification, in John 14:6, this is what Jesus said. It's a pretty famous verse. It says, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No one can come to the Father except through me. And so that just tells you like exactly who's answering your prayers, you know, literally, like prayer to get out of this pit, right, that you're stuck in. And so that's the reason I put my faith into Jesus. I was just like, he makes it very clear. The Bible makes it very clear on what you've earned with doing evil deeds and how you're going to pay with it. When you do evil deeds. And so, yeah, and then it says Jesus is the answer to it. So you put your life, you put your trust, you put your heart into Jesus Christ. Because this world's temporary, man. Is nothing here's going to stay. Everything dies. And so God says he's going to give you something way more than just something temporary, man. I'm just like, you know, I'll take the risk, bro. It's a good risk to take for me. I calculated. I say, yeah, things are dying, so, and including me. So that's the reason I'm going to be Christian. I'm going to be Christian. That's the reason I am Christian. Probably going to stay Christian. Yeah, and the reason I was Christian. So that's like the whole timeline of Anderson and Christianity. And yeah, that's everything. And if you want to become Christian, you know, ask God for forgiveness. Say, God, if you're real, come to my heart, change my soul, my mind, forgive me for my sins. That's number one. Forgive me for my sins, because it's the reason you're here in the first place, right? And so then after that, you just give your life to Christ and say, I'm going to do my best to live the way you want me to live. And typically, God gives you a heart change. You feel it. You're like, yeah, your soul, your body feel very separated. So whenever you sin, you feel it. And then, you know your flesh is calling for this, your soul's calling for this. And that's what a lot of conflict is in nowadays with anything, with lust and murder and all these other kinds of sins you see out there. You know, it's just like the devil's explicitly in your face, man, every day. TV, I mean, right, kids, and just like it's everywhere, bro. So anyway, that's all I got. Love you guys.